Okay, I'm gonna start my Napoleon Dynamite filming location tour right here in front of the man's house himself. There's Napoleon's house we see a few times in the movie. This is a little town called Preston, Idaho. It was like a 2-hour drive from the hotel we were staying at in Utah, and I couldn't pass up a chance to come out here and visit some of the Napoleon Dynamite filming locations. I don't know when I'll be around these parts again. But there's Napoleon's house. We see it at the very beginning of the movie, a few other times, but the first time we see it at the beginning of the movie, where Napoleon walks up right to the front of the sidewalk here, and he's waiting for the school bus. And just across the street, you see old man Lyle standing just a few feet away from a cow, right here in front, close to the street. And the old man's got a rifle in his hand, and he's about to shoot the cow, and you can see the little old man's kind of frail and having trouble cocking back the gun. But just as he clicks it, and he lifts up the barrel of the rifle to shoot the cow, is when the bus pulls up and stops right here with a bunch of little kids. And you hear the bang from behind the bus. You don't see it, but then they show the inside of the bus, all the kids screaming, freaking out. The dude just blew away the cow right in front of him. Then we see Napoleon get on the bus right here. And he goes back to the very back seat of the bus with the other little kid that for some reason in the movie, the kid looks like he's in elementary school and Napoleon looks like he's damn college age, but that's movies, it's funny. And the bus starts driving off in this direction, and Napoleon gets that little action figure that he has tied to a string, and he throws it out the window, and you see the little action figure bouncing behind the bus all the way up. We see that in this property. Then, twice in the movie where Tina would have been. Tina, is it an alpaca, a llama? I don't know what the hell it is. I always say it's a llama. But Tina was over here in a little field to the side. And the first time he comes out with that big casserole looking thing when his grandma says, "Go feed Tina." And you see Napoleon walk across the yard and he starts chucking big spoonfuls of that casserole over the fence. He's like, "Tina, eat your food. Eat your food, you fat lard." And he just starts chucking it over the fence, which is really funny. We see him later in the movie come back out here trying to feed her, but that time he says ham. He says, "Eat your ham, Tina. Tina, eat your ham." There was a gate here to separate it. Maybe those little posts right there are part of the gate. I swear I hear bees. That's where the fence was, went across, separated, and Tina was right here. Another time that we see in front of this house is when Napoleon's riding up on his bicycle in this direction, and Kip and Uncle Rico are sitting right there on the steps. I wish the owners would come out and I could ask them if I could go sit on their steps. And Uncle Rico's reliving his days in high school, talking about, "Man, I bet I could throw a football clear over those mountains." And Kip is like, "Are you serious?" "Oh, I'm dead serious." He said, "If Coach would have put me in the fourth quarter, we'd have been state champs. No doubt in my mind." Talking about his football days and how good he was. And just as Napoleon starts riding up this little dirt road right here, Uncle Rico takes the steak off of Kip's plate and he throws it across and drills Napoleon in the glasses right here. Now, I read online of all the trivia things that happened with the movie. It took 3 shots. It took the actor John Grease, I can't think of his name. What's the actor that plays Uncle Rico? On his 3rd attempt, he actually did hit Napoleon right hit him so hard that it broke the glasses on his face. If you watch that scene, right as it hits him, it broke those glasses that he was wearing. But that was filmed out here. I can't think of any other time that we see the house. I don't know if they filmed the interiors in there or not. I'm sure they did. With the low budget they had, they probably filmed inside. But I'd started my tour here at Napoleon's house. I'm going to try to find a few other locations. Still got a 2-hour drive back to get to our hotel. There's the car they gave us at the rental place. All right, moving on to another stop. Okay, so the second stop in the Napoleon Dynamite tour. It's Pedro's house. We see the front of this house when they're out here jumping Pedro's bicycle, the sledgehammer. They have the ramp set up here. Earlier in the movie when Napoleon asks him if he ever takes his bike on any sweet jumps. We see the house from a camera angle that's straight on from across the street. There's a car here, so I wouldn't be able to get the exact angle, but the car be in the way. But you see the first time they show the house, Napoleon is standing right here looking off to the side. Pedro comes riding up, makes a successful jump. And then Napoleon says something like, "Can I have a try?" And then Napoleon comes up and he wipes out. And it's the only time in the entire movie, do you remember what it was rated? It couldn't have been R, maybe PG, PG-13. I don't know that they curse that much in the movie, but it's the only time when Napoleon rides up and hits the ramp, boom, when he goes over and hits the front of the handlebars, it sounds like he says, "Fuck." But they really don't curse in the movie. But that's it, a quick shot of Pedro's house. Next stop in the Napoleon Dynamite tour, it's the school they go to. Now, I was gonna come tomorrow, Monday, because they're real friendly about letting tourists in, and I want to get pictures of those colorful lockers that they have inside, which are still there. They left the colors of the lockers still the same. But tomorrow's our last day here, and it's a 2-hour drive to get out here. School doesn't let out till 4. It's really late out here in Preston, Idaho. That would have got us back to our hotel, 7, 8 at least, depending how long we were here taking videos. So I changed my mind. He said, "I just come out here on Sunday when it's closed, no one's around." But this is the front of the school. Yep, definitely still looks the exact same, right down to the bike rack. You see this bike rack. The first time, I believe, after Napoleon comes out here with Pedro, and he says, "What kind of bike do you have?" He says, "I have a sledgehammer." And they're hanging out here. He says, "It got shocks, pegs, lucky." He says, "You ever take it off any sweet jumps?" And then the next scene jumps to Pedro's house, which we were just at a little while ago. And it shows them they made a little ramp and they're jumping in front of Pedro's house. Later in the movie, we see that one little kid that keeps getting bullied. The little kid that got bullied inside by the lockers, or the dude, I forgot, he says, like, give me a quarter. And he grabs the kid by the neck. He goes, "I don't have any." And then that same kid later, when he comes out here to get on his bike, the same bully says, give me my bike. Like Debo. And then you see the 2 Mexican dudes that are like family to Pedro come riding up, because one of the things that Pedro said he would do if he was class president was, what was it? They said, "Vote for Pedro." First they said, "All your wildest dreams will come true," and vote for Pedro. He offers his protection. So as soon as this little kid was getting bullied, ooh, bee. There's freaking bees everywhere in this place. Come to think of it, this is the beehive state. Has nothing to do with that. It's just a coincidence that there's a lot. Anyway, I'm getting off track. When the little kid's getting bullied right there, we see the 2 Mexican dudes roll up in the little convertible. The hydraulics goes, psh, psh, and they look at the bully and they nod their head. Leave him alone. And he walks away. Another time we see the school, it's right here on the steps, a few different times. There's one time where we see Pedro and Napoleon handing out those little keychain things to everyone, trying to get their vote. And then you see Summer Wheatley walk up from over here with Trisha. And they were sitting right here. The railings still look the same. And then there's one time that Deb is sitting out here. I can't remember if Napoleon was sitting out here first or Deb. Deb's sitting like a couple steps above Napoleon, and he's waiting for a ride. I think she asked him, she goes, "Do you need a ride?" He says, "No, my uncle's coming to pick me up." And then you'll see Uncle Rico pull up in that crazy van right there. Napoleon stands up, he's like, "See ya." And he walks up and gets in the van and take off in that direction. I'm trying to think if there's any other time we see the school. So where they show Napoleon playing tetherball is not at this school. It's just down the street. I'm gonna go see if I can get to the back of that school. It's also where we see Summer Wheatley and her friends with the basketballs. There's like 3 basketball hoops right next to each other, next to where Napoleon was playing tetherball. It's at a different school. But I wonder if this is a school that has the bleachers. I'm gonna walk around this property, because there's one time that we see Napoleon and Pedro by a football field. And Napoleon is asking Pedro, who he's gonna ask to prom. And he says, that girl over there, and it was Summer Wheatley. You know what? I'm gonna walk past here and see if it's football stadium's back there. All right, I have another fail, dude. So the school is across the street, and the track that they use for the, raindrops. The track that they use for Napoleon Dynamite is right here. And I've had a few friends that do the same hobby of visiting filming locations come here, and they sit on the bleachers where Napoleon and Pedro discuss who they're gonna ask to go to the prom. And it was right up here. This is the track. They were sitting right there. You could see those houses in the background. Zoom in a little. That all lines up. There's like this little church on the top of this you could see behind them. But it was right here on these bleachers, and for some reason a sign here that says that the track is closed to the public until further notice due to maintenance, continuing maintenance. So I can't get up there. Shoot, I was even gonna take a lap around the track. It probably would have taken like 11 minutes, but here it is, quick video. The bleachers where Napoleon asked Pedro, so we're pretty much best friends now, right? Yes. He said, so you got like my back? What? He goes, never mind. He goes, did you think you're gonna ask her to dance? He says, that girl right there. And right here, just beyond the track, Summer Wheatley and a few of her friends are in gym clothes right there. He says, Summer Wheatley. I forgot how he asked him, how do you think you're gonna pull that off? Pedro said, I don't know. Maybe I'll build her a cake. It was all done right here. I'm running out of daylight. I still have a few more stops to go. Onward. All right, so we made it over to Summer Wheatley's house. And now that I'm standing here in person looking at this is pretty dang funny. So Summer Wheatley's house is right here. Huge, massive house. You can't see it with these trees. I'd have to walk around and get the whole... It's hard to see behind all these trees. But in the movie, the boys are over here behind these little bushes, which is not really much to hide. There is a little dip down right here. And Pedro built her a cake. So he runs across. It's funny the way he runs with his little boots. And he goes up to her door. He goes up to the door and he drops off the cake. And then he runs back. And probably within less than a minute, she gets to the door. But he runs back, gets on the back of Napoleon's bike, and they start riding off like she's not gonna see them. There is no way on this entire block that you can't see them. There's nowhere to hide. They'd have to be about a mile away past that firehouse, whatever that is. So that's kind of funny. She comes out, opens the door. How long would it take to go way the heck up there, drop off a cake, ring the doorbell, run out, run out, run out. Look how long that driveway is. He runs all the way out here, gets on Napoleon's bike, and the two of them start pedaling that way and not be seen. But anyway, it's kind of funny. Just had to make a quick stop. Summer Wheatley's house. These people got money, dude. It's out in the middle of nowhere. If you like that sort of thing, away from the big city and all the noise. I need a Walmart or something close by. Best Buy, what do we need? A gas station, quickie, bodega to get a fountain drink, but all right, so long from Summer Wheatley's house. All right, the next stop is a complete fail. So the thrift store that Napoleon buys that sweet suit was right inside here. But just like most businesses in this neck of the woods, they don't open on Sunday. We noticed that in the Utah area that we're staying in, even a lot of restaurants don't open. A little businesses like this. Look, still a thrift store. It's hard to see with this camera, but the lights up top, the little lighting fixture things. Car. Game on. So it was a thrift store. I totally would have bought something from in there. And we are denied. Not open on Sunday, no bueno. And then next door, I saw that they have Vote for Pedro t-shirts. What the hell kind of business is this? Gift and boutique. But they're capitalizing on the tourism of Napoleon Dynamite. Vote for Pedro. I probably would have bought one there too, give them business. You bitches need to open on Sunday. That's where a lot of the tourists come here. All right. Car. All right, this is going to be another quick one that's a fail for the Napoleon Dynamite tour. This was a store that Summer Wheatley worked at, right up here in big letters. I believe there were gold colored letters that said Kings. The name of the store was Kings. Car. Game on. So the name of the store was Kings, and you could see faintly where they removed the letters. You kind of can still see the outline of them, but this was the spot where Kip and Uncle Rico came to go shopping. And it's funny because it's that scene where Uncle Rico walks down one of the aisles and he picks up a plunger and he smells it. And then they keep going, but the registers were in the back. It was in the back of the store. There were 2 registers, and Summer Wheatley was back there. And she's the one that checked them out. All right, another fail. I'm visiting these locations like 3-4 years too late. See what else we can find. Another quick stop on the Napoleon Dynamite tour. I don't know if they're no longer in business or they're closed for the season, which it's an indoor thing. Why would it be closed for the season? But this is the bowling alley where Uncle Rico and Kip come discuss business. Had they been open, I would have tried to get one game of bowling in on lane 5. They were bowling on lane 5 inside here, but looks like there is no more bowling. All right, don't know if I'll ever be back around these parts, but this is the bowling alley from Napoleon Dynamite. All right, so I'm probably gonna end the Napoleon Dynamite tour here. Now, if you ever come out to, nobody's ever gonna come out here that I know, but my friends that do the filming location, if you come out to Preston, Idaho, it turns out that the tetherball, it's not a hoop, the tetherball, it's not even a court. Well, the pole that he plays tetherball, it's not at the high school. It's about a 1.5 minute drive at the elementary school. You have to look up Preston Elementary, and it's behind this school where we see Summer Wheatley, all these hoops right next to each other. They're still in the same place from when the movie was made. Summer Wheatley and her friends are over here, and she sees Napoleon in one scene. Let me zoom in here, playing tetherball. And she walks over real nice with a little note, because Pedro had asked her to the prom. She walks over, she goes, "Hey, is Pedro here today?" Napoleon says, "I haven't seen him." She goes, "Can you hand him this?" She gives him a note. When he opens it, in big letters, it says "No," with like 4 exclamation points after it, like she's not going with him. And this is where he was hitting the tetherball around by himself. And around this angle, we see shooting hoops. It's from this angle that we see the other kids shooting hoops. And the pole looks to be the same exact pole. The only difference, when the movie was made, there was a tire here. The pole was inside of a tire. But man, it's all beat up, same color. I have to watch the movie again closely to see if it is. But I will go on a limb and say it's the same pole from the movie. Summer Wheatley walks over from this direction. So that's it. I think I covered all the locations that I could find for I was about to say the Sandlot. I did that yesterday. For Napoleon Dynamite. It's about a 2-hour drive from where we were at in Salt Lake City. So had to take the opportunity to come up here. I'll probably never be around these parts again. All right. Give me the thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you don't like it, or the emoji middle finger in the comments if you really don't like it. Goodbye from Napoleon Dynamite. Oh yeah, and this is where the movie ends. The movie ends where he's here at the tetherball courts and Deb walks up. And he and Deb are here hitting the ball around. All right, that'll do it. Adios.